Perhaps our self is not a thing that has already happened. Perhaps we are an ongoing, ever-arriving process. Perhaps what we have been calling ourself is an interpretive tendency. An interpretive tendency. Now, if we're still wondering whether or not we can change, because I've been this way all my life, and you knew who I was when we got married, why are you asking me to change now? This is who I am. This way of thinking opens up new possibilities. We don't need to be attached to or defined by characteristic ways of knowing or interpretive tendencies if we recognize them as interpretive tendencies. Folks, anything we call ourselves, we're stuck with. There's a conscious and unconscious tendency to perpetuate anything we call myself come hell or high water. The attachment and the identity to a particular way of interpreting, to particular characteristic ways of perceiving, of acting, is limiting. It limits our degrees of freedom, it limits our expressiveness, and it encumbers us. If we consider the possibility that we're never born, then who or what dies? Perhaps the opposite of birth is death, but that life has no opposite. Perhaps the current of life, the current of time, expresses and manifests our form as an ever-arriving, energetic presence. If we can access this ever-arriving, energetic presence that allows and enables form and appearance, we don't become so identified with any form or any appearance. Buddhists talk about emptiness and impermanence. Perhaps emptiness doesn't mean nothing. Perhaps emptiness means without sustaining substance. That emptiness can be without substance, that has a independent existence separate from everything that is. And perhaps impermanence means that everything is in process. All appearances are constant change and flux. Perhaps our suffering is related to our resistance to things changing. Don't Don't you just hate it when it changes? Especially when it changes in a way we don't want it to change. To appreciate change, to appreciate the dynamic nature of all appearances, is to decrease our personal suffering. When we relate to things as though they're fixed and permanent, from a sense of ourself as being fixed and permanent, we have to be thrown off balance intermittently, periodically, if not constantly.